Engineering, V8 University. Today I'm going to discuss about the topic on introduction to automotive electronics. So basically, automotive electronics is not a new area or a new section. Electronics plays a major role in the aspects of vehicles in the introduction itself. But late from 1980s or 1985s onwards, the electronics plays the major role in terms of the what you call vehicle development, or you can say the part of the automotive. So initially, the vehicles or automotive segments will be handle only the mechanical aspects of engines, vehicle chassis, or automotive systems. But initially, the very few electrical components like starter motor, battery, lightning system, horn system has been used. But from the late 1980s onwards, once the ECU, that is the electronic control unit, has been started to use the what you called vehicle. It has been the starting of the electronics. So if you will see there from the slide, the cost of the automotive electronics, it will be in the range of 1% only in the year of 1980s. But now from the 2015 onwards, the cost of the total car of the electronics will be around 40%. So there is a drastic improvement in the cost of the what you call electronic components, which is used in the vehicle systems. So initially it has been used only for the as I said, lightning system, starting system, all those things. But once the time passes, nowadays if you will name any new technological development in the vehicle, that will be coming across with the help of the electronics only. So without electronics, you can't able to develop any new system in the vehicle system nowadays. That even nowadays the scenario is moving towards electrical or electronic ways, as like electric vehicle or a hybrid vehicle sort of thing. So there is a much more components, electronic components will be there. So there is a scenario that the mechanical engineering shift towards the automotive electrical or electronic aspects of the vehicle systems. So if you will see, the most important economic sector for the uh, coming years, because of the introduction of the new electronic components, is one of the what we called automotive systems. In a general context, what automobile, that is the mechanical aspects, microelectronic aspects, and automation, computer hardware, and a computer software. So put together all these aspects, we will call it as the automotive electronics, or in terms of mechatronics aspects also we can say. So the automotive electronics, once if you want to master, or if you want to work on the automotive electronic domain, or if you want to learn anything in automotive electronic domain, so in that case the major factor is the what you called the aspects of mechatronics aspects only. So one should possess the knowledge in the aspects of electronics, electrical, computer, and computer software, and as well as a computer hardware, and of course the mechanical aspects. So combining all those things, we'll put together called as the automotive electronics. So the market for the automotive electronics shows a continuous annual growth rate in the range of 7% in upcoming years now. But in future, definitely it will be higher than what I called than this. So if you will see the total embedded system of the vehicle, so the embedded system, we will call it nothing but a ECU, that is electronic control unit. The embedded system cost, if you will come around, the 50% of the cost will be gone for electronic hardware, and out of that, even 50% or more than that, it will be gone for a software portion also. Even though the software portion is invisible in terms of as a not hardware, so there the cost of the software also been higher than the hardware technologies. So if you will see the codes or the program quantity or in the space level, in the 1980s it is in the range of 1 kilobytes, but nowadays it has been more than GB level. It has been increased for the automotive electronic components. So the introduction of the advancement in the software technology, which plays a major role in increasing the providing the better cost, comfort, and the safety aspects of the what I call vehicles. So the car makers usually what you call the car makers are only using the what you called the different types of software components like what you called mandatory requirement of using some kind of ECUs or like that it will be using. So the cost of the electronic components has been keeps on increasing nowadays in a very huge manner. So that is also one of the important aspects. So this is the overall general context of the what I called automotive electronics systems. So if you will see the future use of power electronics in the automotive may be in the aspects of different aspects. You can see in the comfort, it will be there like seating system, vehicle air conditioning system, electrical systems, similarly transmission systems. So all those things will be uh, uh, all those all those things will be the what I call aspects of the electronics systems. So if you will see a Anna, 1 second. There is some disturbance in the students. Okay, so the cost of the electronic system will be in the different aspects of engine and accessories like pump control, fan control, fully variable valve timing control. This is about engine aspects. But nowadays, if you will see the engine has been replacing with electric motor and hybrid systems. So there, if you will go, the more number of electronics components are yet to be in use. So of course, other than that, the driving dynamics, power management systems, alternative forms of propulsion, comfort. So all those aspects, the electronics will play a major role in the future. So why this electronics has been increasing nowadays, as it is an enabler. Like for example, there is a companies are requiring competitive advantages. So in order to provide a regulatory what I call forces demanding much more tech for new functionalities, some kind of new technologies, and this will increase the productivity pressure. And of course, because of this productivity pressure, the vehicle sales and price stagnation will be affected. Shareholders' expectation. So ultimately, the new technologies, mainly the customer demand and as well as the industry demand and as well as the regulatory force. For example, emission norms from BS5 emission norms to BS6 emission norms or Euro 6 emission norms, or nowadays we are moving towards the electric vehicle. That is also because of due to the environmental pollution. So these are all the factors will able to put a new kind of electronic technologies in the vehicle. So that's why if you will see the growth of a percentage of the production of cost in average passenger car will be in the range of 35% of the cost will be gone for a what you called electronics in terms of 2010. But now if you will see nowadays it will be definitely more than 60%. But in future once if the electric vehicle or autonomous has been fully launched, then the number of components, or you can say the amount of cost spent for the electronics will be have the huge improvement increment. And if you will see out of that major cost will be gone for the infotainment section and powertrain and the transmission section, chassis control and the body comfort section. So if you will in among the automotive electrical, the major cost will be gone for the infotainment sections like what you called GPS, or you can say the connecting the mobile phone or driver assistance systems, like that sort of thing. So these are the some kind of next century innovations, like in case of infotainment, if you will see the TV, radio, driver assistance, internet connectivity, Bluetooth connectivity, smart navigation. Nowadays, the vehicle-to-vehicle communication is also coming. So the vehicle-to-infrastructure communication. So all these aspects will be coming in terms of the infotainment section. And whereas if you'll come towards the body and comfort section, there if you will see the driver assistance, keyless entry systems, smart key entry systems, intelligent climate control systems. So that will becomes in the part of the what you call body and comfort section. And similarly, if you'll come to the transmission and the powertrain section, like a mild hybrid, micro hybrid, integrated alternator starter systems, and of course the electric vehicle. Nowadays it will start to use the electric motors rather than the IC engines. The Tesla is one of the major competitor in the electric vehicles, and there if you will go, the number of electronics components has been keeps on increasing. And similarly, chassis controls like the adaptive cruise control, brake by wire, steer by wire. So these are the certain examples of the modern innovations. So if you will name any electronic technology, or if you name any technology in nowadays in the in the vehicle segment, that will definitely comes with the electronic aspects. So without electronic support, no new technology will be introduced in the automotive segment nowadays. So ultimately, the core of the modern day technology development in the automotive segment is because of only with the help of automotive electronics. Automotive electronics means it is not only includes the electronic aspects like a power electronics or a electronic devices or electronic circuits. It automotive electronics means it includes both embedded systems and have the hardware and as well as the software segments. So if you will see the growth of automotive electronics or the role of automotive electronics in that electronic engineers and as well as the software engineers also will playing a major role in the aspects. So if you will see, up to 40% of the cost of the vehicle are determined by the electronics and the software. And of course, 90% of all innovations are driven by the electronics and the software. So 50 to 70% of the development cost for an ECU is related to the software. ECU is nothing but electronic control unit. In coming class, we will able to see what is meant by ECU. So a premium car might be having up to 70 ECUs. So if you will name any normal average mid-class car, that itself might be consist of a 20 ECUs. So the ECUs, if the number of ECUs are keeps on increasing, then all the ECUs has to be connected with the help of bus systems like CAN bus or a FlexRay or some kind of other buses systems. So this is what is the growth from 1980 to 2010 onwards. So if you will see, the hardware growth is around 70%, but at the same time the software growth has been very huge as compared to the what you call hardware growth. So what is the necessity of the electronics to be embedded in the automotive segment? That question may arise to everyone. So mainly due to the provider safety and reliability, to introduce a new kind of innovations, environmental care in the sense in order to reduce the pollution or in order to save the environment. And of course, fuel consumption reduction. Fuel consumption reduction, it is indirectly indicates to reduce the country's economy. Similarly, better comfort and convenience to the passengers, cost reduction at the same quality level, and weight reduction. If you want to reduce a weight of any particular component, there you can able to put in a compactness by means of adding any kind of electronic components. All kind of technology improvement, integration of systems like hybrid systems, driver assistance, diagnostic and troubleshootings. For example, if you are using more number of electronic components, then the diagnostic will be a problem, or servicing will be a bigger issues. So in that case, you have to develop a proper diagnostic module. The diagnostic module is on such module which will diagnose where the problem will be arising in the what you call the automotive vehicles. So and so in some cases, the mechanical systems will be replaced by the electronic systems. For that purpose also, the electronics will plays a major role, and of course it will provide the better efficiency and the faster development or the faster category of the vehicle. So all these factors will put together to what I call introduce the more number of electronic components in the automotive systems. So because of this, if you will see, the market has been convergence from 0 to 40% from the year of 2010. Now definitely it has been moved towards 70% or 60%. But if you'll go for the electric vehicle, then if you will see, the majority of the components will be targeted by the electronic components rather than the mechanical aspects. So mainly the system has been moving towards the trend of going green, better safety, better connectivity and infotainment, and finally the affordable vehicles. So by means of having this four basic requirement, the more number of electronics components has been put in the vehicle systems. So this is important aspects towards connecting the vehicle to vehicle communication, all those things. And if you will segregate from one aspects of chassis or engine, if you will see in a chassis itself, there are a lot of advancement. For example, in a steering, electronic power steering, If you name any component in a steering system, so that will be operate with the help of the electronics. So ultimately, I'm not saying that fully 100% electronics is enforced in the vehicle system, but if you will name any system, power steering system or a suspension system or a transmission system, anything, it will be coming with the help of electronics. So only the what you call body, external body panel is alone the mechanical way we are designing. But whatever the control aspects you are thinking in the vehicle, like in the body also, like airbag systems or door opening, door closing, window opening, window closing, all those aspects will be coming with the help of the electronic components only. So the driver assistance system, next thing, for example, there is a presence of radar camera in front side and the rear side, and those things also helping in the terms of what you called electronics way only. So next one is the intelligent transport system. For example, in case of intelligent transport system, the use of anti-lock braking system, traction control system, steer by wire, drive by wire, brake by wire systems. So these all are the systems will be yet to be in progress, but definitely in future it will be ruling the automotive segments. So at the time, more requirements of the electronics will be there. And mainly, what are the influences of the technology development? If you name any technology, I guess the word technology means it is with the help of the electronics and software only. So if you name any automotive technology, there itself it implies the electronics and the software system. So this technology requirement or this technology development is done with the help of on what basis this technology will be developed. Basically, mainly the customer demand, supplier demand, legislation. What are the norms, environmental and safety norms, and similarly OEMs, that the original equipment manufacturer demands. So because of the competitiveness of the one vehicle to another vehicle, for example, if Tata Motors is giving one new technology, then immediately Maruti also will start to give the better than the technology or even equivalent to the technology. From vehicle to vehicle competitions, in order to match the competitions, the technology demands also will be playing a major role. So this, as already we have discussed, so these are the different what you call the technologies in body related aspects, interior vehicle related aspects, similarly chassis related, drivetrain, and all those things. But if you will see, till now we are using the 12 volt system in the vehicle electrical system. But once if you will see in future, definitely this 12 volt electrical system will be moved towards the higher voltage system also. And this what I have mentioned about the what I called number of ECUs. If you will see the collision warning systems, active damping systems, driver information system, all those what I called the number of ECUs will be keeps on increasing as frequently as compared to the years are moving. So like this, there are 70 up to 70 to 75 ECUs are there in the vehicle. So this is the typical example of a diesel engine ECU, or otherwise it is called as a diesel engine management. So yeah, ECU means it consists of a microcontroller. The microcontroller is embedded in the board, and it is having the number of inputs with the number of inputs are nothing but the sensors and switches. So those inputs are used to measure the real-time operating condition of a particular system. For example, if the ECU is used for engine, then it is called as an engine ECU. If the ECU is used for braking, then that is called as a anti-lock braking system ECU. Similarly, if the ECU is used for controlling the airbag, means it is called as a airbag ECU. So most widely, all the major systems, they are having a separate ECU. For example, door control, door opening and closing, for all those aspects, there is a presence of body control module. So like that, if you name any bigger system, suspension system, in some sophisticated vehicles, it will use as the active suspension systems. Similarly, automatic transmission control. Like that, there is a ECU will be present for each and every systems. So the ECU consists of a number of inputs from a number of sensors. If you will see in case of diesel engine, it will start from intake system, how much air is coming, at what speed crankshaft is rotating, at what position the piston is there. Similarly, how much amount of exhaust gas is going, what is the air fuel ratio engine is operating, what is the driver accelerator pedal position, what is the driver clutch pedal position. So all those aspects will be measured with the help of the sensors, and all the information from the sensors will be given to the microcontroller which is present inside the ECU. So the microcontroller will be driving with the help of the software or the algorithm which we have written. Based on the algorithm and based on the inputs, it will process the inputs and it will control the outputs to the actuators. So actuators are nothing but the output of the ECU. So it will actuate, it will convert the electrical signal into a mechanical output like injection, stepper motor, or what you call a rotating of a throttle valve, turbocharger valve control, EGR position valve control. Sometimes the output of the ECU will be also in the form of what they call indication or a buzzer sound. So like that, this is the general working of an ECU. In a later slide, or you can say the later of my course, you can able to get more details about the ECU. So next one is the network protocols. As the number of ECUs has been started to increase, so it is difficult to make the centralized network. So for that purpose only, this CAN protocol or a LIN protocol or a FlexRay, most these four different types of protocols or a network has been started to introduced. What is this purpose of this network means? All the ECUs will be are connected towards this network protocol. So the whatever the information is received from the one ECU, it will be transported towards or transmitted towards the other ECUs. Based on the requirement by the one ECU, that information can be taken or it will not be taken. So that purpose for that purpose only, the what you call the number of ECUs, or you can say the CAN will be used. For example, if you'll see here, see this is ECU1, ECU2, ECU3. So whatever the information is received from the sensor and it is controlled by the actuator, all the informations will be put in the CAN line, and it will be shared towards the other ECUs. So whichever the ECU needs the what you call information, it will be taking it. This is the case of 1991 Mercedes-Benz vehicle only having the 3 control units. But by the present day, the number of control units in the car has been risen to 70. So then all the 70 ECUs are having connected with the one CAN protocol, or 2 CAN buses, or 3 CAN buses, or 5. So up to maximum number of CAN buses. For example, in a one CAN bus, there may be a 5 ECUs may be connected, or in some case 10 ECUs also may be connected. So depending, for example, for powertrain alone, powertrain ECUs alone connected with the one CAN bus, and chassis related ECUs will be connected with the another CAN bus. So depending upon the requirement, the number of CAN buses can be varied. So electronic architecture, that's what by means of connecting the ECU to ECU through the help of different protocols, we will call it as the electronic architecture. So this is what we will call as a in-vehicle networking. So typically in 1996, it has only the 6 ECUs, this particular on vehicle. But if you will see from 2009 or after that, almost it is having the 70 ECUs. So if the number of ECUs has been started to increasing, then ultimately the complexity of the vehicle architecture or the electronic architecture will be very much difficult. So number of wires will be increasing. So the traceability of the wires will be a bigger problem. So in order to avoid all those problems and reduce the number of wire harness, the protocols, or you can say the network, has been introduced. Say a typical Volkswagen Phaeton vehicle, maybe the 2012 model, I guess, it will might be having the 11,136 electrical devices, which is includes the 61 ECUs along with the 3 CAN networks. So among that, 2,500 signals has been exchanged between ECU. So number of sensors maybe in a normal car will be in the range of 30 to 100, and in a advanced higher sophisticated cars it will be up to 300 also. So as the number of sensors has been increased mainly due to the measuring of the real-time operating condition of the vehicle. So at present, what is the operating condition of the vehicle? At what speed it is going? How many passengers are sitting? What is the engine temperature? Like that, a number of parameters will be monitored with the help of the sensors. And based on that information, the ECU will take the necessary decisions. So if you will see, this all the ECUs will be connected with the help of the wiring harnesses. The wiring harness is nothing but a bulk or bunch of the wires will connected together. So if you will open a bonnet of the vehicle, or if you will open a side body trim of the vehicle, there are a lot of wires will be going. So as the number of wires is also going, then it will be difficult in terms of weight of the vehicle, because the wiring harness not only includes wires but also includes the connectors for the sensors or the respective electrical or electronic component. So in that case, the complexity of the diagnosing is the problem, and similarly the weight of the system is also a problem. So as much as wires has to be reduced with the help of the proper network protocol design only. So this is a typical example of a future system architecture, like vehicle functions. It will coordinate with the other systems, the central coordination, or you can say the intelligent by means of having the intelligent sensor or a wireless sensors. And similarly, if you will see if wireless transmission is used, the signal should not interfere between one vehicle to another vehicle or one system to another system. So that may able to create a lot of problems. So those at all has to be avoided in case of having the in-vehicle network. So usually we'll call it as the in-vehicle networking. So the in-vehicle networking, initially it has been started to use only the basic CAN system in 1990s. But if you will see nowadays, they have been started to use the high-speed CAN, depending upon the speed, data speed transfer rate, the type of the protocol will be varied. For example, if you'll see the LIN, it may able to transfer the data rate in the range of 20 kbps, but whereas the CAN can able to transfer in the range of 1 Mbps. And similarly, most, that is media oriented system transport, can able to transfer up to the range of 25 to 150 Mbps also. So depending upon the speed at which the data has to be transferred, this network can be varied from one vehicle to another vehicle systems. So these are the typical examples of the vehicle wiring harness. There are n number of wiring harness we can able to classify in the vehicle, like main wiring harness, engine wiring harness, dashboard harness, chassis harness. If you name any component, if one ECU is there, means definitely it has the bunch of wires has to be connected with the number of sensors and the actuators. So ultimately, by means of introducing more number of electronic components, of course, we are getting the better technology support and better innovation and better output. But at the same time, there are a lot of complexities also bringing. Once we are using the electronic components. What are those complexities? Means ultimately, if any problem is there, diagnosing a vehicle is a very difficult thing. Previously, based on the experience, mechanical guy can able to identify a fault in a vehicle by means of hearing the noise or driving feel or driving pattern, by touching the vehicle, or by what you call sound itself, they can able to diagnose the problem. But nowadays, because of this more number of electronic components has been started to introduce, identification of the problem is very, very difficult. So the diagnosing is one of the important aspects in the what you call automotive segment. So for that itself a biggest research area where the diagnosing of a proper diagnostic tool development will be happened. And to give the certain glimpse about the advanced technologies in the present day vehicles. So I have taken example of a Mercedes-Benz E-Class vehicle. This is again not a new 2020 model. This is bit maybe 2015 model. So there the new E-Class vehicle might be having the different kind of advanced technologies, like driver support system, or you can say the driver assistance systems, where they can able to have the in and around obstacle measurement. Like a driver assistance system is nothing but there is a presence of radar sensor or a lidar sensor along with the camera in front of the vehicle and as well as side and behind the vehicle. So that will measure the any obstacle, stationary obstacle or a moving obstacle is there in and around the vehicle, and accordingly it will alert the driver to apply the brake or to apply to change the steering rotation, all those things. In certain extent, it will automatically take the autonomous decision also in the some cases also. So this is again a radar sensor which is present in the front of the vehicle. There you can able to see it will monitor the what are the front obstacles in the front of the vehicle. So based on that, it will give the indication to the driver that if there is any obstacle is there, then we need to apply the brake or adaptive. This information will be useful for the adaptive cruise control system also. And it will say you are going in a safe driving situation, or preventing the accident, or mitigating the impact, like that. In a different zone or different area, it can able to kind of control the aspects of the vehicle collision. And this is again what you call this lane keeping assist. If you will move from one lane to another lane without indication to the rear coming vehicle, then immediately it will vibrate the steering wheel or vibrate the what you call belt, the driver belt, and similarly it will provide us some kind of buzzer sound also. Adaptive high beam, according to the forthcoming vehicle, according to the lightning condition, it can automatically change the lightning effect in order to what you call avoid any kind of accidents in the night time. And similarly, drowsiness detection. If you are feeling any kind of drowsiness, it will continuously monitor the driving pattern. So passive phase, and if you will having any sudden variation in the what you call driving situation, it will immediately give a buzzer sound or steering wheel vibration or a seat belt pulling or buzzer sound. It some kind of indications it will give. These are all the some of the advanced technologies like pre-safe activation of belt pretensioner with the help of the radar sensor. And to summary of this technologies, this all are comes in terms of active safety, and as well as some kind of technologies will be coming in terms of passive safety also. If you take in case of passive safety systems, there are varieties of airbags like driver airbags, seat belt airbag, the curtain airbag, side airbag, like the different airbags, up to 6 to 8 airbags will be there in the nowadays vehicles. So, and comes to the active steering technologies, where it will prevent the understeering and oversteering effect, and it will provide the better comfort, and it will able to reduce the steering what I call effort. Some in some vehicles, if you will see, the effort put by the driver for the steering will be very much huge. But that kind of thing can be reduced by means of having the better power steering along with the proper design of the motor systems. So, and similarly, the seating arrangements with better ergonomics and climatic control in the seat itself, like seat cooling system, seat adjustment, vibration effects. All those things also can be inbuilt with the seating functions. And of course, drive by wire in the sense, instead of having the too much mechanical links. For example, if you'll say in case of steering, the steering wheel is connected towards the rack and pinion gear arrangement, and it is connecting towards the wheel. But if you'll go with the steer by wire system, the steering wheel is directly connected towards the motor, and the motor will be directly fixed in the frontal wheel. So there is no in between mechanical link will be there. So that's what we'll call as a drive by wire system. So that also plays a major role in the future developments. And if you see that similar simple example of a cost of the particular electronic system, say typical electronic stability program, it will cost around $3,500. And of course, among the $3,500, it will include the ECU cost is around $240, and wheel speed sensor around $160, angle sensor. So each and every aspects of electronic component, if you are putting, the cost of the vehicle also will be gradually increases. This is the another important aspects when we are putting the what I called electronic systems in the vehicle. Similarly, next, the introduction of the hybrid technology. This we will discuss in the next class.